won, but they did that back-to-back in Milwaukee against the Bucks. Each one of them took one of those games, 112-100. Over the Bucks was the final on Friday night. Cavs are back at home tonight and Wednesday. They'll play the Clippers tonight. Is that Ty Lue in the Clippers?
Yep.
And Steve Ballmer, of course, their billionaire owner. Developers. Formerly owned, of course, by one Donald Sterling. Remember Donald Sterling?
Oh, of course.
He was the guy that they forced him to sell the team because his disgruntled ex-girlfriend recorded him making all kinds of racial comments. He's like, I don't want black people at my... Was that what?
Yeah.
He's
like, you can hang out with them, just don't bring them to my game.
I think he said those people.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever said... I think he's smart enough. And again, I'm giving...
But he didn't know he was being recorded.
No,
so
he at some point did say...
I don't know if he said...
black people or blacks or
hanging
something
out
like
with those,
that. Yeah.
Those people, bringing those people to the game.
But his girlfriend was Filipino, right? So clearly he didn't have a problem with people of color.
Well,
of course, I guess it is different if you're having sex with someone, too.
And I think it was more he didn't like the way it made him appear because that's his girlfriend bringing black people into the suite and stuff like that. I think it was the very classist as well.
Oh, is that what it was? I'm a
It's
rich...
hard-
He
yeah.
was. I'm sure it was insecurity. I'm
Yeah.
a rich old dude, and I don't want these good-looking young dudes in the suite hanging out with my girlfriend.
Never mind. They love me. I don't know why the girl had me say those things. Never mind. They love me. Don't bring blacks to my game.
Okay.
There you go.
It's right in the bit. Yeah, there. For your consideration. So anyway, Clippers, Cavs tonight, 7 o'clock on WMMS and on the iHeartRadio app. 6:30, when we roll out, is when your pregame coverage will begin. And then Wednesday night, they will play the Detroit Pistons. Oh, God, Detroit.
Rough time.
Oh, my God, what a heartbreaker.
Made it further than they've made in a long time.
God,
You know, it's
nevertheless, they
about
kind of
the
played
climb.
themselves.
Yeah.
It was
That was
Dan
rough.
Campbell, God bless him. Everybody made fun of this guy when he first got to Detroit a few years ago because he's like, we're going to bite their kneecaps off. We played the clip right here. Everybody was laughing at the guy. But the Lions, of course, my wife's team, and we were just watching in rapt attention because they came out hard, man.
Yeah.
They went into the half 24-7, and everybody kind of looked at this like the 49ers going to the Super Bowl was a fait accompli. And so a lot of hope. Browns fans can identify.
Yeah.
Both teams have had winless seasons, but 34-31. The 49ers come back. I always wonder, what is the halftime pep talk that you get from your coach where you go back out there and start kicking ass? Like, you're at an elite level, right? You're one game away from the Super Bowl. The 49ers know how to play football. For the first half, though, the Lions were running roughshod on them. And, Dan Campbell has a very aggressive style of coaching. Their offensive coordinator, that's probably the last game of the Lions because I think they said they're giving him the commander's job that Ron Rivera had. So this Ben Johnson or whatever with the Lions, I think he's they're assuming he's going to get that DC job as a head coach. I'm always curious, what is the pep talk where the team goes back out and goes, oh, let's go win? You get some kind of pep talk. I don't know, but it was a real heartbreaker.
I don't know if it's a pep talk as much as it's just like, hey, we know what we can do. We just got to make some adjustments here and go out there and do it.
Maybe it's a matter of reacting to how the other team has been playing in that first half.
Yeah, I don't think Kyle Shanahan was in there like, guys, we've come this far and we're not gonna give up now.
Yeah.
Let's win this one for the Gipper.
That's what I
kind
wondered.
of thing.
That was my question. Like, what do they, So, yeah, Chiefs beat the Ravens. It would have been nice to see the Ravens win.
No.
Okay. I think I guess the Ravens were the underdogs, but not by much. I don't think.
No. They were
the favorites?
I believe
over the
they're the
Chiefs?
favorite. Over the Chiefs in they were at their home stadium.
Yeah.
They had the best record they're the number 1 overall seed. It'd be very strange if they were not the favorites.
And the Ravens kind of screwed up. Same way the Lions screwed up. I mean, it was so.
I mean, there was a play where Zay Flowers almost scored a touchdown and he fumbled right before the end zone, and then the Chiefs recovered, and that would have changed the game. But also, Lamar Jackson he's trying to me, it seems like he's trying to prove all the people wrong that say he's a pocket passer or he can't be a pocket passer. And so he's trying to stand in there and do that when there was lots of opportunities for him to use his legs and just tear the team up that way. And he didn't do that. It was weird.
Well, it was, here's a little bit of the, hold on. So,
Used to steal the cheese and believe it. You gotta fight
that's Mr. Taylor Swift right there. By the
for
way.
your right to party! And there it is. The 49ers are going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so that was a real heartbreaker. I mean, that's one that Lions fans will remember because there's nothing worse than almost making it, right?
I think Cleveland would be okay with almost making it.
Well, but it's one of those, it's better to have loved and lost than to have never
Listen, you
loved
want to
at
go
all.
as far as you can go, but you still want to make it.
Now again,
understand,
let's say the Lions went to the Super Bowl. Nobody thinks that they're going to beat either the Ravens or the Chiefs, but it would have been great to go to the Super Bowl. You know, they kept
But
putting.
the thing is, once you're in that game, anything can happen.
That's true.
Nobody thought that Tom
People can
Brady
get
was going to beat
injured
the
and-
Rams
right.
when he went to his first Super Bowl. Nobody thought the Nick Foles Eagles were going to beat Tom.
Yeah.
Or you go back even further, the Giants versus the Patriots, they beat them twice, and nobody thought they would beat them. So, if you get to that game, you have that chance to make history.
Right.
So it's not like, oh, well, we were going to lose anyway. Anybody that has that attitude is insane.
Yeah. So anyway, the Lions, unfortunately, they just really kind of imploded in the second half, and Dan Campbell made some calls. He said, he's a very aggressive coach. And, he were like 4th and 10 or something. And he said, go for it. So anyway, it was a real bummer last night at Casa Cox, watching the Lions lose. I do like the, they'll have these clips you might see on social media because Taylor Swift obviously is front and center at these Chiefs games. And there was some woman, Taylor Swift's just going about her business. She's hanging out with Brittany Mahomes. And this woman, hello? Yells, you've ruined the NFL to Taylor Swift. And I just don't understand this mindset. I don't get it. As powerful as the NFL is, it sure doesn't take much for people to think someone has ruined it. I don't get that. It was Colin Kaepernick has ruined the NFL. And now Taylor Swift, according to this woman, but she's not alone. There's a lot of people complaining about it. It clearly hasn't, there are plenty of instances in which you can point to the collapse of a player and they go, remember Tony Romo and Jessica Simpson?
Yeah.
They're like, he's so focused on his girlfriend, he's not doing it. And the Taylor Swift thing is not cutting into Travis Kelce's success one iota that I can see. So I love when these people will scream, and poor Taylor Swift, leave her alone. But you've ruined
I
the
wish
NFL.
I had that much. Like, my life was going so well that Taylor Swift appearing on a screen for a moment during a football game was the only problem I had, that I had to be so vocal about it. Like, this is ruining football.
My experience.
Well, I don't put her in the sports break because I think, everyone has kind of like Taylor Swift fatigue. So Taylor Swift sports break has been Taylor Swift free.
Oh, good for you.
Whatever.
Listen, I understand your reasoning.
Taylor Swift and
I don't
Travis
disagree
Kelce
with it.
have not graced the sports break.
They've
So,
been very cautious.
If you guys want to,
These two smooched on camera, and everybody went crazy.
Those itty-bitty little
I have a
lips.
feeling, in the time they've been together, they've done more than that. I bet they've done more than that.
Taylor Swift.
I bet they've been naked and pressed up against each other on a couple of occasions. I'm going to give you this money here. It is $1,000, your first opportunity this afternoon to grab this money from the Buzzard bookie. So good luck.
This is your chance to bet with the Buzzard Bookie and win $1,000 now. Enter this nationwide keyword at WMMS.com. Pay. That's pay. Enter it now at WMMS.com.
A couple of people forwarded me the video, some guy on TikTok showing his girlfriend. He did a whole deep dive, and he's cast it to his television, this PowerPoint presentation or something, about how Taylor Swift is going to be able to make it to the Super Bowl.
I saw that.
Did you see that?
Yeah,
it's pretty wild because it's the girlfriend or the wife or something and her friends, and they're sitting there, and he's showing, like, because of the time difference, because she's got a real busy schedule prior to the Super Bowl. She has to do the Grammys. I believe that's before the Super Bowl. She's doing 4 back-to-back shows in Tokyo.
I thought she was done with her tour already.
The U.S. tour.
Oh.
But she's starting the Asian tour.
Oh, the Asian leg.
Yeah, the Japanese leg of the tour. She's doing 4 shows in 4 nights, which will end the night before the Super Bowl. And so this guy is showing us, he's like, because they're like 17 hours ahead or something, she'll be back in time. She'll get back like 5 p.m. in Vegas the night before the Super Bowl. She'll get some sleep, this and that.
And her plane
but
is...
you've got to, you've got to hand it to this girl for going all out, for giving people 4, what I can only assume will be 4 amazing long shows.
There's
you have
3
to keep
hours,
you have to keep your energy up. You've got to not like just a normal person at some point would like snap or be a dick to somebody, or I'm sure there's moments of that too, but she's engendered so much goodwill, I'm sure, among her crew that she probably has a lot of latitude.
I think they're also probably pretty well-oiled machines at this point where there's somebody that's doing all the snapping and stuff for her where she just gets to focus on the performance.
Yes, but still, that's a lot to do.
Oh,
And
it's
then you
a ton.
Get on a plane and go to Vegas.
But her
and,
plane is a glorified hotel.
Well, it's not about the quality of the flight.
Yes,
It's
it
that
is, though. Because
time is still time,
she
and you're
probably
going to be
has, like,
tired. And
I understand, but
Yeah, but she
probably
can
has,
sleep
like,
on the plane and
Yeah.
get like a
masseuse.
good sleep.
I'm saying she
Yeah.
probably has like a masseuse. She'll have a meal.
I thought you said she'll have good soup.
She's got good uppers and
No,
downers
I-
for whatever she needs. She'll
Yeah.
be just
I
fine.
thought he said her plane will have good soups.
No, it'll have
A
a
masseuse.
Yeah, masseuse.
a masseuse and everything.
She's got Manhattan clam chowder. She's got New England clam chowder. Is that the red or the white?
In her documentary Miss Americana that was on Netflix.
Of course you've watched that.
Yeah, I did watch it. I was
Of course
curious.
you've watched it.
But there's a scene of her just getting on her plane, and it's just like it's so weird to see someone just own a plane, and she just called it up like an Uber, and she just got on.
And she's like Zeppelin in the 70s.
And the person's like
Air Force One.
serving her and her mom, and she's just like in a hoodie. I'm like, what a bitch. Like that's the first thing that came to mind. I was like, I hate
Why?
her.
She's a billionaire.
But she wasn't a billionaire then. This was 2018. But
I'm sorry. She only had $600 million.
it doesn't
then.
matter. I'm just saying she's just in a hoodie and a messy ponytail, just eating, a 5-star meal on her plane.
That's why people love her. She's just like us. Celebrities, they're just like us. Listen, that's all, to me, that's all window dressing for the fact that this woman still is planning on doing 4 massive shows halfway around the world and then flying to Vegas so she can watch her boyfriend probably win the Super Bowl.
Ugh.
And they're like, people are saying like, well, that should put the whole is she going to perform thing to rest because there's no way she's going to perform. Jet lag and tired. Well, because she's going to be there.
No.
So people are like, why? And she's like, no, it's Usher. And
This is sticking it to
why
him.
would you poke your head in? You just got off doing basically 12 hours of shows.
No.
And you're not going to jump up at the Super Bowl and perform.
No, she's sticking it to the people like Rock Nation, Jay-Z, who puts on this halftime shows.
I think you've thought way too much about this.
No, Taylor Swift will perform.
She's not sticking it to anyone. She's like, I just got back from Tokyo. I'm not going up to sing.
No, I understand that. I don't think she's going to perform, but the only reason why she didn't perform this year was because she didn't own the rights to her music yet. When she re-records her music, she has no problem performing at the halftime show. It's been talked about for several years because every year they go for well, what big act can
Yeah, but you don't get paid for the Super Bowl halftime show anyway.
Right, but it's the way that album sales skyrocket and streams skyrocket after you do it that she wants to make sure that makes a lot of sense. That she wants to make sure all her stuff is re-recorded and re-released by her, so people will then go and consume that rather than
the Scooter Braun version.
Scooter Braun version.
The one her old masters that he owns, and they did an estimate. This just broke I think this morning or yesterday that from her appearances on the football games, she's racked in, and I don't know how they tallied this, but they said $300 million. That's what revenue she brought in with people who don't normally watch these games now are watching the games and they see Taylor Swift. She's brought in $300 million. So think about.
I think there's a lot of wonky math. I think there's a lot of wonky math in that too. I mean,
but if that's just her making an appearance, imagine if it was her doing a halftime show. So
if you're a fan of her, are you watching football games just because you know they'll show her?
So my brother's fiance's kids, his soon-to-be
fiance's kids,
his soon-to-be stepkids, they don't watch the football, but my brother is a football fan. He wears the jerseys and everything, and even when he's in his house and no one can see him. I remember his kids coming in, and they were like, "What team does Travis Kelce play for?" He's like, "Get the hell out of here!" He's like, "I know." He's like, "I know you're asking because he's Taylor Swift's boyfriend," and she's like, "I just wanted to know." So little kids who don't normally pay attention to football games now know.
So he's really laying the groundwork with the future stepkids, is what you're saying. He's really setting himself up to be a confidant.
He's like, "Stop asking me what Travis Kelce. You didn't know who he was. You don't even know what position he plays."
Yes, but they're children. Of course they don't. This is how you teach them.
Yes.
This is, that's annoying.
Has he ever heard the phrase teachable moment? That is a phrase that gets overused, but in this instance,
he was
how old are these kids?
8 and 12.
Yeah, so young enough that he should go, "Oh, Travis Kelce plays for the Kansas City Chiefs." And guess what? Originally, he grew up in Ohio, Cleveland Heights. Teachable moment.
Yeah. Well, I will tell him that he's equal opportunity because he does the same thing to me. I'm like, is that guy a left back?
You are 38 years old or whatever.
And why is it a plus somehow that he's a dick to everyone the same way?
Because that's just who he is.
But to his future stepchildren?
They're like,
oh, boy.
What team does Travis?
His fiance really got a winner there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure does.
Alan, I wonder how that dude that got the Lions Super Bowl tattoo is doing today.
Oh, yeah.
Listen,
not a great move.
Somebody had to do it, right?
I don't think you had to do anything.
Think of the kids in Ghana who are going to be wearing the Lions Super Bowl T-shirts or whatever.
Is this a Taylor Swift's boyfriend's team?
Nope.
Shut up, kid. You don't know anything about football.
Go Taylor Swift's boyfriend's brother.
Yeah.
Everything is proxy Taylor Swift. Is that the team that Taylor Swift's boyfriend's brother used to play on? Is that what it takes for people to know what teams people are on now?
I don't know.
That's Taylor
They
Swift.
used to say that the NFL was a company that owned a day of the week, meaning Sunday. Now they own a lot of days of the week. They own Monday, they own Thursday, they own Sunday.
They don't own anything.
Well, they don't own you because you are unownable. I'm going to break. If you want to send me a text, 35192. If you are listening on the iHeartRadio app, you can leave messages there. And we'll be back after the
Rover's Morning Glory.
Crystal, why'd you buy a gym membership?
Honestly, ever since I stopped dancing, I've been putting on some weight. I really do feel thicker. And I know I'm thicker because my jeans are a little too tight. And I don't want to pop into the next size up.
So you like to dance. You've also said that you would like to make a little bit of extra money. Have you thought